What is one aspect of marriage that no one prepared you for?
Everything. Everything. But specifically, because it's like, when you have kids, you're reading all these books beforehand, and it's really, it's great to have that little bit of knowledge, but until you actually get in it.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but specifically, really how to fight for your marriage. No one really shared that with me in the hard times. It's easy when you like each other, when everything is going good, you're saying the right things to one another. But what happens when you don't like one another? What happens when there is a fence that tries to creep in there? There's been times for me that I had to kind of check myself because, when Pastor Jay doesn't say the right things.
No.
And I'm just going to leave it at that.
Listen, you got to tell your sisters.
You know what?
Hey, we just had a show on respect.
We won't tell
No
anybody.
one's listening.
Okay, well, since you said that and he's not here, then, but yeah, I would kind of just go my own way. I'd be like, well, I'm not dealing with that. I'm not gonna take that. I'm gonna, and I'm sure he's done the same thing as well, with different things that we didn't like about one another, what we did. But, you have to remember, it's a fight for your marriage.
That's good.
You have to, you have to stay in there. And then what happens, though, is if you don't stay in there, strife creeps in. You mentioned that before. Strife creeps in. And strife doesn't just, especially when you have kids, strife doesn't just affect you and him, but it affects the atmosphere of the home, which eventually affects the kids.
Right. Who has something for me?
That is good. While she says fight, I am going to use a scripture I wasn't thinking. I'm misusing it, maybe. Matthew 3 says the axe is laid to the root. And what it really means, Jesus came and he's taken care of sin. But in a marriage, sometimes we fight about so many little things and we don't reveal what the true thing is. As Tiffany says, the axe is laid to the root. Get to the heart of the matter.
That's right.
Don't worry about the toothpaste. Get your own tube.
Come on.
Don't worry about the socks. Shove them aside till he's ready. Doesn't have any more to wear, whatever, those sorts of things. Get to the real problem. What is it? Is it something you're doing? Is it something he's saying? Be honest. And, I did go through financial, our pastor did all that, financial counseling, in-laws, children, all that. But like Tiffany said, it's not just the knowledge, it's the experience. You can't just have it in here. You've got to apply it out there. So dig down to the real problem, the issue, and then understand how to fight.
Yes.
My husband, he's calm, placid. I'm intense. I want to get to the issue. I've got to wait a couple hours, maybe sometimes days, when he is ready to process it all. Because I'm intense, right? So, really. So anyway.
Something I wasn't prepared for was how I was going to have to die 1,000 deaths.
Wow, that's a great picture of marriage.
Like you're dying to yourself, you're dying to your flesh, you're dying to your own desires, you're dying to your singleness, you're dying to your plan, and all of a sudden you're merging together to become one flesh. But also, I didn't realize and understand that I would have somebody in my corner 24/7.
There you go. That's good. That's
Like,
good.
he's
Two
my
sides of the
partner.
coin.
He's my BFF. He's with me, good times, bad times, sickness, and in health. So it's a good thing too.
That's good. Do you have an answer for
Yes,
me?
the concept of leaving and cleaving. I really don't think that that's talked about enough, because I think you think about it just like, oh, I'm adding this person to my life. That is not marriage. It is not an addition of somebody to my life. It is literally to become becoming one. This is a completely new life, a new creation. You are not like, okay, here's me and here's my family and you come on in to this. No, you're creating new traditions, new holidays, new, this is all new thing. It's like, you know, the 1,000 deaths thing. Okay, let's put it a little bit positive light. Because, and it's not easy. And like, I think people think, oh, if we live together first, we're going to work all that out and figure it all out. No, no. This is a covenant relationship. You don't need to figure that out beforehand because all that stuff is just like surface, like the socks and the toothpaste, da-da-da. This is, you got to get to the relationship stuff, and you need that in a covenant relationship, and that comes with leaving and cleaving and two becoming one under the Lord.
I like that.